Yes. Unspoken topics by unspoken people, where we find unspoken answers to unspoken questions. My guest in the building, Victoria Oladele, happens to be my first female guest, and so excited about this person. Talented individual. I've seen her work, different things, and Guys, this is a multi-talented person. Vicky, can you introduce yourself to our platform, Unspoken Podcast?
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Oladele, as they have rightly introduced me. I am currently an IT professional, but I have many different hats that I wear.
Yep.
I'm someone who loves to support social causes, and I think I've done that for many years, since I was really young. I won't say exactly how many years, because then you'll be able to figure out my age. But aside from that, I've written books, children's books. I've run several charities. I've worked with local government, central government, different corporates. And I do all of these on the side of my day jobs.
Well, the thing is, I'm kind of looking at you from what you were doing before to the things you're doing now. I kind of like, are you a presenter? Are you a businesswoman? You create content, you write books, a lot of things. How do you then merge everything?
For me, the goal isn't to merge everything. A lesson that I learned quite early on is that there's a time and there's a season for everything.
Okay.
I'm somebody who, if I feel it and it's in my capacity to do it, then I'll do it. So long as it's helping other people or it involves the betterment of some sort of community, society or person. So I just do what I need to do in that time. I gather the people that I need to gather to make it happen, and it goes from there. I'm not consumed or bothered about titles. I'm not doing anything that I do so that anybody can call me anything.
Okay, say for example, your braid content.
For my hair.
Yeah, how does that one?
It's just what I want to do, so I do it. It's not about just money. It's not about publicity. It's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I've been natural since it wasn't cool to be natural. So when the whole YouTube community started up, people were posting videos and pictures and all that sort of stuff about their hair. Before that, I'd been natural, so I'd been picked on for having the hair that I did, and I stood firm in what I believed, which was that people will accept the hair that I have for how it is. Now all of a sudden it's cool, so I don't see it as a task or a job to have my hair a certain way or to be posting pictures. The only reason why I think I'm more visual with my hair now and I've made more content is because I'm on a completely different journey, which is new to me. So it's more documentation for myself, but just a public documentation. So now I've got locks. This is something different. I'm sure, it's not even I'm sure, because of lockdown, I feel like so many more people, both male and female, have now been like, oh yeah, I want locks as well, because they almost were forced to have that sort of hairstyle. But for me, it was a conscious choice, and it's been one that I've been thinking about for a long time. So I just said, let me document the journey, see what people think whilst I'm doing it. As I'm learning from people, let others also, learn what they can from me, because there's always been this fascination.
I saw, because I went into your YouTube channel, it's been growing, and I'm like, wow, because I was reading some comments, from around the world. What happens if you stop?
Then those people find other people. I'm not the only one. Like, I'm not their daily bread in my mind. That's the way that I see it, and I think this is why I'm not bothered about what I'm doing and the titles that I have.
Are you gonna? Okay, now you're doing dreads. You're going back to another kind of.
But it's not for them. It's for me. I don't care about them. Not in a rude way, but they just so happen to like what I'm doing now. What happens when, let's say, I do something tomorrow and all of them fall off? Does that mean I now have to change so that they can like me again? That's not the basis of why I do it. I do it because it's what I want to do. And if someone likes it, fine. If someone follows the movement, great. If not, then I still like it. That's why I did it.
Those things are incorporated in your business sense, because I noticed you also were doing about nails, designs and things like that. Tell me more about that.
I'm generally good with my hands in terms of doing hair, cooking, whatever. As long as you can touch it, I can do it. I
saw the banana
plantain.
I'm like, okay, I have to try that one.
It's funny because recently I've decided that I'm not going to do hair, nails for anybody unless I want to. I don't want to make money from it anymore. anymore. The reason being, I feel like anybody that's involved in business should have the ability to step away from it. If you can't step away from your business, then it's not really a business.
So you're just gonna be like a consultant?
I can be a consultant. I can do it for fun. I also don't believe that everything that you do, just because you can do it, you need to make money from it. There's some things that bring you peace, that bring you joy, that you just enjoy doing. And hair and nails were like that before I made it into a business. Then it became so-and-so has a party on Saturday. My whole Friday is booked full of doing people's nails. I didn't get to do anything on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then my evenings. It wasn't fun anymore. I can do other things like tutorials, videos, showing people how to do designs and stuff, but to say that this is my business, that's very, very different, especially because I've got so many different things that I'm interested in.
Yeah. So looking at all this multi-talented skills and everything, which one will you say is your favorite?
As a hobby or as a side hustle?
Well, side hustle, something that you can do in your sleep.
I could do all of them in That's why I do them in reality. Yeah. Which one is
an author to a book right
100%,
now?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I don't even say it in a boastful way.
Guys, this is Vicky's book. Her co-author Monica. Grab a copy. It's on Amazon or?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on our website www.littleliteratures.com.
Go on it, purchase it. If you have kids, purchase, bulk. Most especially Christmas is coming, so it could be like sales on Amazon and things like that. So you traveled because of this book. Maybe it was a charity event or you went out there. Tell us more about the book.
So like I said, everything that I do, I try and make sure it benefits people. And one of the reasons why we even started Jerome and Friends is because we felt black boys in particular are never the center of a story in a good way. It's always bad news and bad representation that we hear about them. So I wanted young black boys to see themselves as the main character, and also just general children from ethnic minority groups to be able to reflect themselves. So that's why we came up with the Jerome and Friends series. Off the back of that, what we realized is I'm of African descent, Monica's Caribbean, and we were going back and forth just in general for holidays and things like that. We just decided that we need to try and collaborate with people in the diaspora, people in, mainland continent in terms of Africa, in the Caribbean as well, especially charities, to make sure that we supported those sorts of children, because you bridge the gap between those that are here and those that are abroad in the diaspora, like I say. So that was a great opportunity for us to just share, number one, what we had worked on, but also work with people that are already doing great work in Africa and in the Caribbean. So we shared.
So did you create a charity?
No, we worked with existing charities.
Okay.
We sent books over, so we sent books to schools.
I saw a clip where you were distributing the books for the kids. They were reading some of them.
Yeah, there's been so many different ones. We've done Carnegie Education, Calm Schools in Nigeria, and that's basically it's a free school and they have several different branches. It's basically built on water, so that whole Makoko area is on water, and they have schools there for kids that live in the area.
Nigeria,
got them
Lagos.
We also did just general free giveaways, especially around Christmas, making sure that it's not just toys that kids get, but they also get educational tools. And we're hoping to do like a free book run in the UK as well this year, so we'll see what we'll be able to do just to support more children.
Okay, another role of yours is directing. I don't know if it's directing, whether it's producing, but I know you go to direct music for upcoming artists. I think you have a Promise.
Yeah, there's only one artist that I'm working with. He goes by the name of Promise. He is a UK-based Afrobeats artist. I'll say Afrofusion, actually.
Afrofusion.
Yeah. No, because there's influences from different areas, like Caribbean is influenced there, mainland Europe as well. So in like Netherlands, Italy, Germany, there's a lot of music that he tries to fuse in, and a lot of artists that he likes. France as well. But yeah, working with him, it's not necessarily directing. He's an independent artist, but he has a lot of vision in terms of what he wants to do. Very, very big, grand, artsy visions. And because of the sort of person that I am and the skills that I have, I'm able to help him manage it, put it in order, create a process, create a plan. With a lot of artists, and a lot of creatives, they know what they want to do, but sometimes breaking that down to get to that end goal is difficult. So I help him with that management and that sort of strategic side to things, just trying to join the dots and break it down into achievable steps as well.
And how is your talk show? How is it going right now?
I don't do it anymore. Like I said, there's a season and there's a time for everything. I haven't done Inside Talk for a while. Inside Talk was probably one of the first urban debate shows that we had that was focusing on real socio-economic issues. Before the likes of Backchat, we were talking about how are we going to make change. And we had a lot of people come and support us. So we had Stormzy, ZZ Mills, Miss Banks, people that are doing amazing stuff now on the panel, and they were able to just help influence, support the young people and talk about things that mattered. And I think that was surprising to young people, because you look at all these artists and you think that they'll just be one track minded, so when you see them talk about something different, it blows their mind. But the reason why we stopped it is because you can't be, well, for me, I can't be everywhere at the same time. If I didn't stop Inside Talk, then I wouldn't be making content elsewhere. I wouldn't be supporting Promise. There's so many different things, and like I said, there's a season for everything. And I think with all the stuff that I do, whether it be business or just general support, my goal is to, like I said, support the community, or if I can spark interest and support for someone else, to carry on something similar. So like I said, we were probably one of the first to start that sort of debate show. You've now seen the likes of Backchat, Grapevine, all these different stuff with black people leading it. And they're talking about all these social, economic stuff. They're talking about other things as well, like pop culture and things like that. But we started that as well with them. We were amongst those people. So yeah, it's very interesting to see
that leads me to the next question. Our audience, it's from a base level unspoken things. I see people and I talk to people that they are very, very, very talented, good mind, and they want to elevate themselves. But I know definitely you studied, you've evolved in terms of how you write, talk and everything like that. How can you help people that are coming up? You know this thing is crude, like a crude oil. How do you help them to say, okay, you can be yourself, or
I think there's three things. So the first one is recognizing that you have something that is of value, and in order for you to recognize that, you need to believe in who you are and what you have, or whom's you are and what you have. Second one is sort of biblical principle in terms of study to show yourself approved. And when I say study to show yourself approved, I'm not saying go and get a PhD. Start with a short course. And I think when you put yourself in a space where you've actually committed to study something, it might even be that you say, you know what, in order to master this skill, I'm going to dedicate 5 hours a week, 1 hour every night, Monday to Friday, or every morning, Monday to Friday, and I'm going to watch YouTube videos, I'm going to research, I'm actually going to study. That's the same as you doing like a short free course. The more time you spend in it, the more you will realize whether this is just a hobby, like my nails, I'll go into that, or like hair, for example, for me, or if it is something that you really want to pursue and spend all your time doing. Once you've got that figured, you've got the qualification or hours to say that, okay, I can now do this professionally, which is the next stage, which is getting customers, clients, testing it out on like friends, people that you have around you. It's hard because your friends and family are not always your customers. However, use them to test what the market is saying if they're interested in it. Do you get what I mean? So with me, I'll use nails for example. I can do nails. Like I said, anything to do with my hands. And same thing with food. I can do it. It's normal. I can cater. I can do whatever. What I then did is I did my qualifications relating to food. So I'm licensed to sell food, cook food, do whatever I want. Nobody can tell me anything. Same with nails. I spent a year studying that after work, and on my Saturdays I was doing I'm a fully qualified nail tech. Now in doing it, that's when I started to say, okay, this part of this nail stuff, I don't even want to look at it again. I never want to be touching people's feet. Whereas other people that were on the course love feet. Love it. Right? And they'll be, and it's not a fetish or anything weird, but they'll just be like, that's the easier type of job that you can do, rather than fixing nails, adding acrylic, filing down. The feet, you just cut the nails down, put it in the water, you know what you're doing. You might think that, that's a waste of time because now I'm not using it. However, it was brilliant, because if I then turn around and say, okay, I don't want to do nails anymore, I have a bunch of people who I studied with that I can now hire, or asked to support me or go into business with, do a joint venture with. I studied all of that. I know exactly what materials they use. I can say, oh, actually, you know what? I even want to run a course, or I want to do whatever with the skill set and the time that I spent studying. And then the last and final thing, like I already said, is obviously testing it out on your friends, your family. Same thing with the food and nails. I practiced. I sold food to people. I catered for people's events. I did nails for people around me. They would say, okay, yeah, we prefer this acrylic over that acrylic. And that's how I got better until my clientele.
Is it necessary to have a apprenticeship, or you have to just go read?
When you say apprenticeship, you're basically talking about practice. Either practice under an approved person or some form of practice. I would always advise that you find someone to mentor you or shadow, or that you can shadow, because that's where you get the real life experience. If you don't get to do that, then you need to do that yourself, which is why I said step 3 is important in terms of testing it out in the market. Because it's only after you've cooked for one person, you may love spice, but all your customers are like, you're killing me. I eat your food and it tastes nice, but I'm suffering the next day. Not because I've got food poisoning, but because it's just too hot. Do you get what? But you won't know that until you put it out there. Whereas if you were training with someone, they, you know, if you're in a chef school, they would have told you that, okay, this is great for you, but we don't do that here. So it just depends on what you have the opportunity to do, because like I said, if all your learning is on YouTube and things like that, you might not have somebody to say, okay, don't do this, do this.
Because I also, you know, I always try to tell people, most especially, I've written about that, you know, in my book last month. You know, I always say to people, try as much as possible to get the experience, whether it's like a barber shop, you know, gain good experience to even know, is this thing for you or not? You know, you're gonna experience different things from that level, and then you can withdraw yourself and say, okay, it's not something for me to go. Nice. It's been, you know, eye-opening about your roles, you know. Again, our platform, you know, we talk about unspoken things that we don't, you know, talk about usually, like men, women, but we try as much as possible to contain those things, whether it's feelings and everything. It is when people come out, like they come to the barber shop, to the salon.
That's when they talk about. That's what I loved most about doing hair. When people sit in my chair, stories that you would never thought possible.
Exactly.
Like,
and you say, wow, really? wow.
Now I see.
And people are going through a lot. 100%. You know, like COVID is just, it's not already out, but you know, at least we're moving gradually. In all these roles that you've used and advocating, what do you think should people, individuals, whether charities and things like that, because you've been a charity person, what do you think individuals need to do? Because there's mental issue. You know, how can you give an advice? Because you do different things. So I don't think, you know, you have that space to say, no, I want to be depressed, I want to be this. But because you do everything, you do this.
That's so untrue. It's unreal. Like, that's so inaccurate.
Is it? Because you know, your time is always used. You know. So
there are people that are functioning and they have very bad mental health issues. Nothing is easy. I think I've gone through different bouts of depression. Like, I was offered medication. There's been so many different things that have happened to me along the journey at different points. Because I have the opportunity to give testimonies doesn't mean that there wasn't tests. I mean, the whole purpose of a testimony is that there's tests. And this is why I also, like I said, stopped doing hair and nails professionally or for people. Sometimes we overload ourselves. If you're somebody that knows how to do a lot of things, it's very easy for you to just keep on going, and you never take any rest and you never stop. You always laugh at me because I'm always traveling. This COVID period, I've not been able to go anywhere. In fact, even going to the supermarket, I needed to seek permission at one point from this government. And when I looked at that in itself, I'm happy I didn't go to a dark place. But what I learned by not being able to fly out and travel is that was part of the thing that was helping me stay sane. Because every now and again I'm in another country, I'm experiencing something, I'm able to see God's glory. That's one of the things that I love about traveling, because what you think you know, until you've traveled or you've seen pictures and watched videos, you just be like, swear down God did this. Like, just general going to Southend and just watching the waves go in and out, and you just think to yourself, like, this is crazy. Even small things like just being still and your breathing pattern, like everything, I just see God in it. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is that one of the biggest thing I relied on was being able to fly around, and I didn't have that anymore. So I definitely had very, very low days. And then what I had to learn was that I need to build in rest. When it comes to hair and nails, I do it for me now, because that's what I enjoy doing. That's like painting for other people. The same way I'm painting nails is the same way somebody else is like, oh, I'm relaxing by doing XYZ, I'm watching Netflix or doing whatever. That's what I was trying to do to relax, and then I now made that into a business, which is what made it hard, and then it got into a really dark place for me. I definitely feel like people need to know who they are, like I said before, whom's they are, in terms of, if you don't know your source, then you don't have a leg to stand on. Your foundation is already shaky. Like, you need to know, because when you feel low, if you know what scriptures say about you, or like where you're from, even like your lineage as well. Like, I'm Nigerian, and I look at Nigerian people sometimes, and there's no suffering that we can't suffer and arise from. Like, when I think of that sometimes, I'm just like, it's okay. Cry today, you'll deal with tomorrow.
I'm coming back to that. You know, going back to the mental issues and things like that. I've gone through your content, and I know how it's been growing. There are times where it just stopped and things like that. Now people want to blow. Now you've been creating content, God knows when. Somebody wants to put a content there, and that one content, they want it instant, you know.
Nothing is instant. There's no such.
No. People do that. People people believe, and
this is why I'm telling you, it's not true. It's not true. It's not sustainable.
But they don't understand that, because once they do 2-3 content, done. What advice can you give to those? You know,
there is nothing that comes out of the microwave in that way, for like, in terms of life. Like, you can't start something on Monday and expect that it's blown by Friday. That's not how it works. Everything is about consistency. And if you even want to take it down to technical terms as well, all the platforms that you're trying to use to blow rely on consistency, good quality. The main thing is consistency. By putting your data out there, by putting your content out there, you're building a CV or a catalog that the system, I feel like I'm talking about like techie stuff in my day job. But you are leaving like a trail. It's very rare for someone to go viral. And the problem with people that go viral with one piece of content is, if you don't have a catalog from before, as quickly as you became relevant, you will become irrelevant. Which is why you need to make sure that you're constantly putting out data, you're constantly putting out content, because when one of them becomes relevant and then goes to the masses, people can now come back and say, oh yeah, I want to hear what he said about this topic, or I want to, look at this video that she did. And this is the difficulty that people have. You can aim to do, blow just like that, but you will fall off just that quick as well. You have to make sure you continue. Like I said, the technology itself supports that strategy.
Have you been in a poem seminar or things like that, when you do like...
and everyone starts clicking?
You just fly in like that.
I feel it.
I'm feeling it.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Like, even if you Google something, it's how many times your name is there that Google will now say, I rank you higher.
Yeah.
That's exactly how all of these systems work. The less data you have there, the less consistent you are. One day your name is Mike Show. Next day is Show Me Mike. It's not going to put the two together. You have to consistently be. So for you, everywhere now, people are seeing unspoken. So it's attached to you now. Everything, even the amount of times you say it, it's all going to add to the recognition. And like I said, the more content that you put out, the more it becomes a recognizable brand. That's how it all works. Nothing is quick and nothing is
going
overnight.
back to you when you said African, Nigerian, and there's nothing that we cannot take.
It's really sad. It's really sad.
But but there are individuals that are Nigerians and they're still going through the challenges.
No. I'm not saying that because I'm Nigerian, there's nothing that doesn't happen. That's not what I said at all. My point is that when I look at people, and because I'm Nigerian, I look specifically at Nigeria sometimes.
Okay.
I know I can't take 5% of what certain people are going through. Yet, I'm looking at videos of people with no clothes, no shoes, and they've got something to rejoice about. Seeing that allows me to put things into perspective. That's all I've said. The same way, if you're Caribbean, you might look back at your Caribbean country and be like, do you know what? Today I'm upset, but for this person to be happy, tomorrow I've got to at least try and do something because I'm definitely better than where they are. And that's how I feel sometimes. I'm not saying it, you dismiss your emotion or your feeling. Not at all. I'm just, when you put things into perspective and you remember whose you are or who you belong to, you can't help but live to fight another day. You just have to. It's not over till it's over.
Right. Let me ask you this one. It might be a tricky one, but who in the industry that you would love to work with?
I'll be very honest. It's not that I don't want to work with anyone. I'm trying to learn more about people and their intention. So I'm open to working with everybody. I don't just look up at those that have made it. I'm looking across at my peers. I'm looking down at those that are coming behind me. And when I say that, there are so many people that I've worked with on all the stuff that I do that have helped to elevate what I do right now. Our illustrator for the books, she's based in Kenya. Never met this girl face to face. Instagram searches, researching, looking at work she's done. We've decided to go with her. It would have been very easy for me to say, I want to use somebody in the UK. I want to use somebody that's already, here and we'll just pay them for the job. What benefit does that do? I need to find people that have a shared goal with me. I'm doing my best to put myself in spaces where I can learn more about people in my industry, because I'm not trying to say that I know about everybody that I should know about. Also, to not just look up, but to look across and look down, supposedly down, because it's not down, but look at other people in the space that I'm at. There's people that are at my level and they're making 5 times what I earn. They've done more than I could ever imagine. And sometimes we spend so long looking up that we forget to see the people that are around us. 2 heads are better than one. We could join together and do so much more than just saying, oh, well, I want to work with Jay-Z or I want to work with blah, blah, blah. I'm ready to work with anybody so long as they're ready to work and they bring value.
How has your faith impact your work and your life? Because you can't just, like a goal-getter. Yes, you have to do that. You have that mindset ready. But at the same time, your faith pushes you.
I would say personality times faith. Like, I'll wake up one day and be like, I'm going to jump out of a plane. Why not? I just want to do it. If it's possible for somebody, let me try it and just tick it off and say I've done it. I don't know why. So there's that about me. However, where the faith has really, really spared me is when I fail, and I fail often, or when things don't go to plan. Like I said, when you know whose you are, those are the times, and it's really, I don't say it's really bad, but when we're going through it, we cry out to God. It's the reality. It's the reality. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely someone that practices gratitude, but faith has definitely been there when I needed to hold on to something and things didn't go my way. And like I said, that's been so many times, more times than the successes I have to give you. Faith it's been the foundation. It's been the building block. It's been the thing that's allowed me to springboard onto the next thing. Yeah.
Wow. In terms of projects, what projects are you moving on to now?
Right.
Or I know I don't want to, guess, but I don't want to split everything out there and things like that. But of course, for you having all these roles, business woman, talk show, braids, advocate, director, co-author. There's gonna be there's something there that you're doing, or maybe preparing to do
with the books. There's something big and good coming. I'm praying that happens in the next year or so, and people get to see that.
So, guys,
exclusive,
tune in, and maybe it's going to be like a New York bestseller.
We don't know, but we're praying.
So,
but
go
on. So there's definitely the books. I am taking a temporary move to Portugal. One of the places that I travelled to often pre-COVID was Portugal, and I definitely want to continue to travel to Portugal, but this time it's going to be from a different angle because I'll be living there for a bit. So that's going to be something I'll be doing. Hopefully I can make a bit of content there as well, just show people a different side to life in that sense, because I feel like growing up, for me, going to uni abroad, living abroad wasn't something that was shared to us. It was like, our parents came here, where are you going? We've already done the hard work. And now I'm saying I'm going to Portugal, and this has been like a long-standing dream of mine. So to actually be doing it, I know people think I'm crazy, but I'm going to do that. So that's next on the horizon. What comes out of that, we don't know. I'm just excited. Like, I take things as it comes.
As it comes.
Yeah.
Okay. Unspoken, our platform, like I said to you, finding answers for unspoken questions, giving you that space to preach, advocate, and say something for our audience unspoken.
Take time to know who you are, what your likes and dislikes are, what your skills are, where you could improve. The moment you truly embrace and know who you are, no one can take that away from you. And whatever you decide to go into, you have that springboard to sort of bounce from. I would definitely say try new things, learn from them. And as you're trying things and you're living your life and doing the best that you can, make sure that you are also lending a hand to those around you, because ultimately that's what you will be judged for. Those are the things that people will remember about you. So forget for a second Judgment Day or anything like that. I'm just talking about for as you're going across, those that you help are the same people that will speak about the goodness that you did to them, the mercy that you had on them, the way that you helped them, which is why I try and do as much as possible on my route to wherever I'm going, because I don't know who I'm helping. So that's what we can definitely.
Because when you're saying we're coming back, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, you don't know who is who.
Yeah.
God willing, when this whole book situation comes out, it's gonna be crazy, because the people that I've met by just being nice and helping other people get plugged, I can tell you, Monica and I can tell you how many people have stepped on our toes, how many people we have written and edited their book, and they've pushed us to the wayside.
Right, not giving the recognition, and
not even just recognition, like intentionally trying to sabotage.
Oh yeah.
And it's very, very interesting to see. But with all of that and just general life stuff, you just continue to do good and sow good things. Some people call it karma, but whatever you call it, it will come back to you tenfold. So as for me, I choose to sow as good as possible where I can, and then hopefully, God willing, it's good that comes back. Yeah. Thank you,
Victoria Oladele.
You're welcome.
Yes, Unspoken. Definitely, Vicky, you're gonna come back, isn't it?
100%.
Because since when you come out with this book of yourself,
I mean, I didn't say it was a book. I don't know what it is.
Any if it's a project, so whatever,
exactly.
Definitely, you're gonna come and share some testimonies 100%. And everything. Thank you guys for sharing this platform. Also, shout out to Ayo Posh Salon. Thank you very much again. Unspoken.